And we are back. I hope you got a nice cup of coffee and you are ready for some interesting stuff. So, ons sê julle wat julle nie weet nie, want Dexter weet. Dexter, wat weet jy? Alles.
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 When it comes to fishing,
Alles.
that's the
Well, what you do know is what new products you have in your pen range or whatever Iron River has. We listened to JC now with a couple of interesting things on Twin Series, so well done on that. I think you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do you have for our viewers that they can know?
Okay, so I think starting off, I've got two little segments here. I've got a few bass baits and then some items for the saltwater. So I think let's get started on the bass.
Yes, it's spawning time coming up. Well, it's already here.
Yeah. Things are starting to heat up. I mean, you've seen on Facebook, there's a lot of guys catching some fantastic fish. Sadly, we here today, we working.
We should have been catching.
Exactly.
We should be fishing.
But hey, listen, after the show is done, we'll be able to take our products, get them into the boat, and head out to the water and go catch some of those fish swimming around.
It's just something on the bass season as they started off. If we look at Renosterkop and Loskop and even Rudekop, there's some early season big fish coming out.
There's definitely some early season big fish. I mean, for Loskop in particular, now is the time of year where the big fish start coming out. You've got those pre-spawners. I was having a chat to some of my mates, Shark Lutz as well, who fishes Loskop quite often. There's already fish on nests, which is common for Loskop this time of year. I mean, we've had quite a bit of a
But there's a few
cold,
five
late winter.
and 5.5s coming out already.
Yeah, no, there's been some big fish, and Renosterkop as well. There's been a couple, 3.5s, 4.8. Rudolph Winter recently caught that 4.8, which is a phenomenal fish.
I'm glad that venue is actually recovering.
Yes,
Say it there.
yes, yeah, that it has recovered. I was at Renosterkop a little while ago. I'd say about 2-3 months ago, and first time out on the dam in many years.
In the winter.
It was just leading into the winter, so early winter. There we still had nice warm weather, so I was in shorts and a t-shirt. But the dam has recovered. I mean, the grass is exceptional. The dam is full of a lot of aquatic grass, and the bait fish is just astronomical.
That's astronomical. Good news that there's bait fish. Okay, how are we going to catch them?
All right, so to start off with, we're going to have a look at our Crash Craw. This is something that we recently launched a little while ago. So obviously sticking in your power bait range, it's quite a versatile bait. Originally, it's been designed for your flipping. So as you can see here with these serrated ribs on the body, the angle in which they go down. So when you flip, your bait's actually going to go down into the water that way. So these are positioned and angled so that you've got better penetration into the cover. So it's not going to get hung up. And then you've got these very cool little legs on it as well. You can see, and it's got these two little flappers. On the end of the legs, it's got two little spades. Hopefully the guys at home can see that. And those spades end up catching the water, and it gives it a very nice, subtle kicking action.
Okay, so that's all for action.
That's all for action.
But those ribs as well, it creates some vibration.
It's got a little bit of vibration into the water, yes, yeah. Especially when you're yo-yoing the bait, when you've got that up and down motion, then the water's obviously hooking on those little ribs. Now, as I mentioned, I said a very unique bait, originally designed for flipping, but I've been experimenting and playing with this bait. I've been using it on the back of a chatterbait for a trailer. That's exceptionally well, yet again with those legs. Because it kicks, yes. With the flat body, as you can see there, it's got a nice flat body to it. If you are looking to get a little bit of lift out of your chatterbait, even a swim jig, I've paired this up on a swim jig as well. Because of that flat body, it helps you get a little bit of lift. So especially when you're fishing shallow water and thick vegetation, you don't want your chatterbait or your swim jig to dive down into the grass. You want a little bit of lift so it can come over those patches and all of that sort of stuff. So very, very great as a trailer. And then as a standalone Texas rig bait, so if you're fishing a weighted Texas rig, just scratching in some rock piles or some brush, phenomenal. And it comes in two sizes.
But it comes off the basis of a bait that's been in use for a very long time, that is just been improved.
Yes, no, exactly that. I mean, listen, these days with fishing taking off how it is, there's a lot of baits that are similar, but those similarities will have differences to them as well. A lot
what
of
is this one called?
This is called the Crash Craw.
The crash
The
crawl.
crash crawl, yes. It's a crawl designed to
Yeah.
crash into cover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and it's available in 9 colors suited to our South African waters. This particular one is called Goat, which is greatest of all time. And you
Oh,
can see, so it's actually it'll be
playing
difficult
around
to
with the
see with the
acronyms
light in
here.
it. Yes, yeah. So you've got a nice green pumpkin on the body,
Yeah.
on the belly there, and then on the top it's like a
Oh,
dew
it's like a
sort of color.
dew
Yeah.
color.
So you've got a two-tone type of laminate, nice
Yeah.
dark color, which is very important when you are flipping and pitching a bait into thick cover,
Yeah.
because generally it's quite dark under those mats. So you need something that's got a darker hue to it to get the fish to react to it. So that's the first bait, our crash craw. Then moving on, another bait which is going to be deadly for this time of year is our new power bait speed boss.
Yeah.
So this is Berkley's take on a speed worm. You'll know a speed worm has been around for many years, and a speed worm's always had your seed cut tail. Where now the speed boss has actually got this unique little tail open up there, and it's got these two little legs. And I know you know
Yeah.
the pit boss very
Yes.
well. Very similar to the legs on the
Yeah.
pit boss, so they designed this based on the action from the pit boss. So now
Which
you've
was
got
also good action.
exactly, yeah, one of my all-time favorite baits is the pit boss. So you've got this nice Senko worm type body with the kicking legs, and this is going to be key for this time of year.
Can you fish it fast and slow?
Yes, you can. Definitely fish it fast and slow. Obviously, ultimate retrieval is to fish it a bit fast because it's designed as a speed worm, a swimming worm. So you do want a faster retrieve. That's the whole purpose of the bait. But if you do want to slow down, I know of some of my pro anglers that have been fishing it on a drop shot. So they've been experimenting. So it's not just one bait for
Yeah. So
one
you get that
purpose.
Senko top profile, and
Yes.
sort of even on the paws.
It still works extremely well. Yeah. So now with those fish staging, they're going to be positioning themselves into the grass on those gravel banks and that sort of stuff. Just before waiting for the right temperature to come up and spawn, they're going to be eating, and a speed worm is deadly this time of year for those pre-spawners. So you'll literally cast this up onto the bank and then just swim it through the little grass channel, swim it next to the edges, and those bass will just come out and grab it. So yeah, definitely something worthwhile checking out. And then yet again, also fantastic on the big of a fantastic trailer on a chatterbait.
Yeah.
I've used it on a chatterbait. Sometimes, the guys say, no, but it might be a little bit too long. Definitely not. It's a slender profile body, so it's not very bulky. So I actually put the whole bait onto the back of a chatterbait, and that's how I fish it. So you got a lot of action coming off the back with those kicking legs. It just adds a different look to a chatterbait. And that's what we're trying to achieve as well when we're playing around with trailers and that. Because sometimes the fish, they get conditioned. Our waters are very pressured. We want to mix it up a little bit, and so you just got to play around. And a fantastic finesse trailer for a power technique. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So also available in some very
nice.
nice
Some
colors.
other shiny stuff there.
Okay, and then new to this year, which is now just landed and launched in the US, is going to be the Berkley Finisher. So a very unique hard bait. You can see there. So this has been designed for forward-facing sonar, your live scope.
Yeah.
So it's something which has taken over the US market quite heavily. The guys are putting a lot of research and development into designing baits optimized for forward-facing sonar. So it's a bait that's quite heavy on the nose. It's quite heavily weighted on the nose. It stands out extremely well on live scope, and that's one of the keys when it comes to fishing with live scope. You need to be able to see your lure so you can see how the fish are reacting to it.
Isn't that a bit unfair?
I don't actually want to answer. That's a rabbit hole that we'll go down. It's a chat that we'll spend 2 hours discussing.
Speaking from the fish's perspective.
Listen, there's definitely pros and cons to it.
But it's brilliant how that technology and how the baits actually connects to the technology. It speaks to the technology.
No, it does. It definitely does. So hats off to the guys at Berkley for designing this. As you can see, a very unique shape hard bait. It looks like let's say a little jerk bait in sense. But you can see the body.
You can feel the
weight
here.
You can feel the weight in the nose, and that's the whole purpose of the forward-facing sonar. Because when you are utilizing your forward-facing sonar, you generally are fishing deeper water, looking for those fish that are suspended. And sometimes they suspend at 20 foot. So you need a lure when you do find those fish on your sonar. You need a lure to get down there quickly, and that's where the weight comes in. So this little bait being 7 centimeters, weighs half an ounce.
Yes.
So it is heavy. So
Yeah.
it's got a very fast sink action.
I also see that the positioning of
The line tie.
the line tie here is a little bit further back. And I gather that it's probably something to do with the balance in terms of the weight being in the nose.
It's got a little
So
bit to the
it
balance,
balances
yes. And then what it allows you to do with the position of that line tie, you would have heard of a technique called strolling. The
Yeah.
Americans are big
Yeah.
into strolling. Your Damiki rigs. So
Uh.
when you find fish suspending, you need to get that lure. If your fish is sitting here, you want that bait to be positioned horizontally to stay in that spot and just kind of stroll it above them. And that allows this particular lure to
I can
stroll.
understand how it
So
strolls.
a multi-purpose forward-facing sonar. So as mentioned, you can do the strolling. So if you're looking for that horizontal presentation, you can do that. But also a fantastic jerk glide bait, I'm going to say. So when you are popping your rod, you've been popping actions. This guy has got an extremely erratic darting action in the water. And it's very unique. So it doesn't stick to the same patterns. You know, like with a jerk bait, if you twitch, it goes left, right, left, right. This is going to go up, down, left, right, up, down, up, left, right. Very erratic. And that triggers the strike from the fish. So something very unique. And then just some of the cool colors to have a look at. Got some very nice ones, but there's one of my favorites. That's a nice natural Wagasaki color. So I mean, absolutely beautiful. And then another
Say
popular
that again. Wagasaki.
Wagasaki.
And then a specific color.
Pearl white. It is a specific color, yes.
So what does it mean?
I can't tell you. My Japanese isn't so great.
Sounds like some sort of a motorbike.
It does. Yeah, it was like Kawasaki. So yeah, we've had extremely great response on these at the show. We've actually sold out on them here at the show. So if any of the guys are interested on getting their hands on some, pop into your local tackle store, ask them if they've got. Hopefully very soon we'll have our next batch coming in. But you know, so uniquely and interestingly enough, although the bait has been designed for bass fishing, our saltwater guys have been extremely interested in it as well for the leeries in the estuaries.
What?
So guys
On
are
those
always
small
looking
little
for little things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was blown away by
finesse fishing.
finesse type fishing in the estuary. So I'm sure we're going to see a surge in the estuary fishing utilizing these baits as well. So another nice thing, although it's been designed for forward-facing sonar, you don't have to have live scope to fish it. You can fish it blind.
You'll feel the bite.
You'll
You
feel
don't
the
have
bite.
to see.
Exactly that. And you just fish it as a standard jerk bait. Cast it out and you just impart those twitches to get it to dance and do its thing. So you don't have to have the live scope on that.
100%.
And that ties up our interesting goodies for now.
So now I'm going to call my friend up here.
And we're going to chat to the
Vanessa is
saltwater
going to talk about saltwater.
Some saltwater
But well done on that.
Vanna, thank
Great
you so
stuff.
much. Yeah, always
Excellent.
a pleasure to see you here at the show. And
Okay.
thank you for all your
Talk
efforts.
saltwater. I'm going to watch from this side.
Brilliant.
Hey,
Vinesh,
good to see you, my friend.
likewise again.
Yeah.
As always.
Absolutely. How's the show going?
It's been good. It's
Yeah?
been very good. Yeah, fantastic. Every year, it's always nice, you know, to
Absolutely.
get together, to see the retailers.
Yeah.
You know, throughout the year, especially not being a sales rep myself,
Yeah.
I'm not on the road, so I don't get to see a lot of the customers. I do
Yes.
chat to them a lot on the phone, interact with them, but face to face is always
100%. And that's what it's about out here.
exactly that. Yeah. So to
Yeah.
see all the guys coming from the country to catch up, have chats, and just fishing. That's
That's
what
what
this
it's
is
about.
you
That's
know?
exactly what it's about. You
So
know,
it's been
and that's the
fantastic.
beauty of it. There's such, guys, I mean, there's a lot of retailers that came out, there's a lot of exhibitors, but there's such a good camaraderie out here, Dexter.
It is, yeah.
You know, we got multiple brands, but everyone's just here to boost up the industry, to give the anglers what they need. And speaking of which, what are you giving us this year on the saltwater side?
The saltwater side, we're going to focus on 3 products. I've got 3 products here to show you.
Uh-huh.
One is a current existing product, but I do just want to touch on it because it's coming up to that season. It's a bait that's been doing very well for us,
Yes.
and that's going to be the Berkley HighJacker saltwater lure. So it's
okay.
a top water lure.
All right.
Designed for saltwater application. So
Yes.
it comes equipped with Fusion 3X treble hooks. So
Okay.
obviously in our local waters,
Yeah.
some guys like to fish trebles. A
Yes.
lot of us don't. We change over to the singles.
Right.
It's all about conservation. We want to do
100%.
less damage to
Yes,
the fish.
absolutely.
But obviously, you know, over in the US, the guys,
No,
they're not onto the single hooks yet.
Yeah.
They soon,
Yeah.
hopefully soon. I mean, I've been
No,
chatting
sure.
to...
But I mean, most of the stuff, I guess, do come with treble hooks, and we
Yes.
tend to change it with inlines if we
Yes,
have to.
yeah,
You know, so that's
exactly. Yeah.
totally
So
cool.
so very easy.
Yeah.
I mean, multitude of split ring pliers on the
Nah.
market these days.
Yeah.
So you just change those out.
Berkeley's got a good range, so it's cool.
Exactly that. So just your typical walk the dog style action. As
Yeah.
you can see, the color I've got in my hands now is your pink color, which is a very popular color.
Yes, 100%. I don't think there's any boat ski boater out there that doesn't keep pink on his boat.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly
pink
that.
and purple. That's the
That's
word.
why I brought
Yeah.
the pink one with me, but comes in a very wide range of some very cool colors
Mhm.
specific to saltwater. I mean, one of our particular colors as well, which you'll be able to see on the internet if the guys are interested to have a look at the color range. We've got a sardine color as well as a mullet color.
Oh, perfect.
So it mimics
Yes.
the forage that we find in our
100%,
estuaries and
yes.
just outside of those mouths. So
Yeah.
definitely something to have a look at. Like I said, it's coming to top water season in the
Yeah.
estuaries and all of that. Definitely something for the guys to check out.
Okay, now what sort of weights do we are they in various sizes, or we just have this one
So it
size weight?
just
Yeah.
comes in the one size, which is your 100 millimeter, so 10 centimeter,
Yeah.
which is on your slightly bigger size. A
Mhm.
little bit later this year, we're going to be introducing the Jaywalker Saltwater
Oh,
in a
yeah.
90 millimeter size.
I've heard
Also,
of
walk
those,
the dog
yeah.
action,
Yeah.
going to be coming out in some unique colors. They're not available yet, so I don't want to be
No, of
showing
course.
too much of them. So when they
Absolutely.
do land, that's when we'll be chatting about them.
Okay.
So for the guys that are looking for the slightly smaller top waters, for your
Yeah.
smaller fish, your more finesse presentations, the Jaywalker 90 mil is going to come out. But for now, the HighJacker 100. And what's quite nice with the the HighJacker, you can see by the design on the body.
Yes.
Even when the wind picks up and you've got choppy conditions, you are able to fish that in choppy conditions because of the profile of the body.
I was just looking at this profile. It looks like it's gonna cast like a dream.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a great casting, and some pretty cool rattles in there as well.
It's got
The
some
sound is
rattles,
quite
yes,
nice on
yeah.
it.
You've got your weight transfer system, so when you
Yes.
do make that cast, because your ball bearings are going to roll to the back of the bait,
Exactly.
giving it that weight at the back, so you are going to get that
Perfect.
on it. And then when you start working at those weights, move back into the belly chamber, just weighting it down to give you that nice walk the dog action.
What would you say would be that best retrieve? Medium to fast, or just medium, or medium to slow?
It's going to change on the day. You very well know what
Yeah.
Gary can be like if we're talking Gary in specific.
Exactly.
Some days
Depending
they
on the
want it
chop on the
slow,
water and
the
things.
chop,
Yeah.
sometimes
There's the
you've gotta
clarity on the
work it
water.
fast.
Yeah,
So
sure.
you just got to play with the retrieves. It's exactly
Cool.
like that. You got to
Yeah.
play. You got to find out what they want on the day.
Absolutely.
You can fish it slow. You can fish it fast. What's
Yeah.
very nice with this as well, you don't have to give it a very hard popping action to get the walk the dog action.
Yeah.
If you just impart that action, if you pop pauses into
Yes.
your retrieve,
Almost a twitching.
it's going to
Yeah.
walk on its own. So you don't have
Really,
to worry
eh?
about twitching it too much.
Wow.
Which is great about this bait,
Oh,
And
I
it's
can't
all
wait
part
to
of
try
that
this
body
one.
design as well.
Yeah.
It's all about Berkeley wants to make a lure that is easy to fish. You know,
Yeah.
obviously the old school days, it was very hard to get those baits to walk. You had to
Absolutely.
really
No, you have to work
them.
it yourself.
But
Yeah.
Science has come a long way. I mean,
Ah,
we're now
I
living in
love
the 21st
evolution.
century,
Absolutely.
so the guys
Yeah.
are making lures and making things easier for us fishermen so that we can catch more fish at the end of the day. And that's what we want. It's why we get out on the
100%.
water, we spend our hard-earned money
Yeah.
on this amazing equipment. We want to catch more fish. And so the scientists have been doing that for us. So hats off to them.
HighJacker.
HighJacker.
Sounds awesome. All right.
Perfect for South
Okay.
Africa.
So top water, saltwater lure. Come on, we got to try this thing, of course. Right, now what else do we have?
Right, so moving on, then just new into our range is jig heads. So obviously something the drop shot guys, whether you're fishing paddle tails or your jerk shads, whether it be
Yeah.
kingfish up on the north coast, Mozambique, paddle tails down your eastern cape,
Yeah.
fishing for cob. We're introducing a new range of jig heads, going to be available in a wide variety of weights.
Yeah.
So now the hooks, the jigs themselves are made here locally, so made in South Africa. Local is lacquer.
100%.
But what stands out for our owner nitro jigs is the hook. It comes equipped with the owner 3X saltwater hook.
Okay,
So
now it's perfect.
a heavy
Exactly.
duty hook.
Because that was the issue I found a lot of times where we've got some, a jig at okay, majority of the jig at the more, right? But the guys are not putting that high quality hook. And you're targeting big fish, you're putting up big lures. So, as we all know, big bait, big fish, right?
Yes. No, exactly.
And we don't have the hooks to do it. So I'm glad we've got some with owner hooks right now.
There
Which
we
is
go.
awesome.
So that's we're very excited about that. As we all know, owner
Yeah.
is one of the top quality brands on the market, and we said,
Yeah.
well, listen, we want to get those hooks to the guys that are targeting the bigger GTs, the bigger cobs,
100%.
because
Yeah.
there is a market for looking
For sure. I'm just looking at this 1.5 ounce 7.0. that's perfect for a 6 inch or 7 inch.
6 to 7
Yeah.
inch plastic lure. Exactly
Absolutely, and
that,
that's what
man.
the cop wants.
That's
You
it,
know,
yeah.
so-
Not only the cop, and we know. So with GTs in specific, if we're targeting GTs,
Yeah.
they are ferocious fighters.
Absolutely.
So as
Yeah.
fishermen, we're targeting big fish. We upscale on our tackle. We're
Yeah.
fishing heavier braid, heavier, stronger rods.
Yes.
We have to do the same for our terminal tackle as well.
Absolutely, it's
Doesn't
got to
help
match
going
up. Yeah.
the braid and using a thin gauge hook. It's going to open up. You're
Yeah.
not going to get those fish onto the
Oh,
beach. So
for sure we don't. And
that's,
look at
that's going to be coming out soon.
guys, you got to check this out because what I'm looking at right now, obviously can't see it through screen, but it's got, I mean, the points on these Zono hooks are pretty amazing.
Yeah,
so,
no,
you know, that's going to
super
penetrate
sharp.
through that soft bait quite easily. But the finish of this is also really quite nice. I mean,
It's a very nice finish.
yeah. So, although it's locally made, the guys really put effort into
yes,
these prawns.
yeah, no, it's got to be well finished
Yeah.
because if it's not finished off properly, it's not going to give the right action in the water.
Absolutely.
It's all about those, you know,
The finer
dynamics
details.
and that sort of
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah, so
And you know,
it's gotta swap.
yeah, it has to have that accuracy when coming through. Okay, so that's the jig heads.
That's the jig heads. Yeah, so just to touch on the jig heads, we'll have 3 different shapes.
Oh,
So
okay.
This particular one is your bullet jig
yeah.
head, which will be available from a 1 ounce up to a 2.5 ounce in the variety of book size. You can see there that nice bullet shape. Then we'll also have the darter shape, which will be
Data.
So that will have you more keeled.
Okay,
nose
right,
to
yeah.
it, yes.
Yeah.
So if you think of
Isn't it-
the old Berkley nitro jigs,
I was just
remember
gonna say, like the
that pointed
nitros,
jig?
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly that.
Okay.
So that's going to be for the offshore guys.
Right.
So that style jig gets stuck in the rocks a lot.
Yeah.
The guys fishing off the rocks and off the beach go
yeah.
for the bullet. Then we'll have the nitros, which is for your offshore guys, the guys fishing off of the boats.
Yeah.
And then for your finesse applications, doing
Oh.
your light drop shot for
Yes.
blacktail, your smaller carp, you know, fishing a
Yeah,
little
fish in the
2-inch
harbour,
sandworm,
yeah,
sort of
that
stuff.
kind of thing. Yeah.
We'll have a range of round ball jigs with 2x saltwater hooks. So your lighter
Okay.
gauge hooks, yeah,
Perfect.
up to
Oh,
the
you
size
guys thought of
1/0.
everything, eh?
Yeah,
Well
we've
done.
got it. So that will be heading out to stores very soon.
Mm.
We've already got half our batch, which is here. The next batch is set to land on Monday. So we're going to start feeding out into the stores. A lot of
Great.
retailers have placed their orders here at the shows. So
Yeah.
as soon as we get our full stocks, we're sending them out to the tackle store. So the guys must definitely keep an eye out for those. So
Okay.
definitely something to.
Well,
Then-
perfect time of the year for it. I mean, summer's coming, those pelagic species are coming.
Exactly.
And speaking of those pelagics, I can't wait to try these next. Rob.
So then
Yeah.
I think also onto last but not least, we are chatting reels.
My favorite topic.
Always real,
All right,
exactly, yeah.
absolutely. So,
So-
what we've got here?
New to this year is the Penn Model Fierce 4.
Four.
So, Fierce has
Lovely.
been around for many
Yes.
years. It's been a fantastic, I'm going to say, an entry-level reel into the Penn range.
Yes.
And now, when I say entry-level, I'm not talking like you.
No, it's not a cheapie.
Stuff,
Yeah,
But in
yeah.
the Penn range, so obviously Penn range is known for its durability.
Yes.
All the reels made from your full metal bodies.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if we talk to your high-end reels, we're talking authorities. That's going to be like
No, of course.
premium.
Yes.
This is more your entry level into
Yeah.
the Penn range. If you don't want to fork out the
Okay,
millions.
so when we're talking about the levels of Penn, we know we've got the Pursuit and
Yeah.
with all the Fears and
Yes.
up and up.
Yeah.
Where would this one? Is this the starting?
So-
and then from here we go
so
to the
this is going to
Pursuit?
be third up in the range. So
A third
we
up.
start at the Rat, got your Penn
Oh yes,
Rat,
the Wrath.
then
Yeah.
the Penn Pursuit,
Yes.
and then the Penn Fierce comes in above the Penn Pursuit.
Okay.
So it's
All
one
right.
of third in that
Okay,
range. So you're looking at like a 2,000 rand retail price point,
Okay.
depending on the size.
Sure.
So now your Fierce range is available from a 3,000 up to an 8,000.
Okay.
This particular reel I've got in my hands is the 6,000.
Yes.
Perfect size when it comes to scratching, like a general all round, you know,
Yeah.
I put it onto a 13, 14 foot type of rod,
Yeah.
fishing for bluefish, for your smaller edibles.
So would we
slightly
have it
larger
as a
heads as well.
4,000 as well? Is there three or
There's a 3,
three?
4, 5, 6, and an 8.
Okay.
So
So
to cater for
so
all applications, light
Perfect.
spinning up to your 8,000, which is
Yes.
for your more heavy duty style fishing.
yeah. See, because I mean, I was just thinking this would be the perfect spinning kind of reel. I
Yes,
mean, for that price bracket, it's got everything you need for the spinning with the way the spool and things are. So yeah.
Yeah, no,
Obviously,
exactly.
this one here might be a little bit heavier, but you got the lighter models.
You got
to
your
put
slightly
on the
lighter
tins,
models,
yeah.
but yeah. So your Penn Fierce 4, obviously still sticking with the full metal body. You've got your HT100 drag washers in it, so your
Yes.
carbon fiber drag washers,
Yeah.
very important.
100%.
The old Fierces, they came with your felt washers.
Yeah.
Then now they've rolled that over, so their
Okay.
full lineup of reels is coming with the HT100
All of
carbon
them?
washers, all of them.
Wow.
Until we step into the slammers and the authorities,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
are
sure.
equipped with the Dura.
Yeah,
That's
100%,
the next
yeah.
level stuff.
Yeah.
So you can see your awesome cosmetics on the spool. You've got your braid ready band, so it's a nice rubber band.
Yeah.
So obviously these days we're all fishing braid
Of
on our
course.
reels, and we know braid
Yeah.
onto a spool, it slips. So they've just put that little rubber band onto there to
Yeah.
cater for the
Of
braid,
course.
which is
Yeah.
it's
So
those
tie
small
knot it.
touches
But
that
that's
make a
exact
difference. Yeah.
100%.
Exactly.
That's exactly it.
And then on the handle side, you've got this nice round.
Oh, that's a
the
cool
round knob,
upgrade. Yeah.
It's a power handle. The
Yeah.
guys are loving that. On the smaller reels, they still come with the paddle style.
Okay.
Because when you're spinning in that, the guys don't
Yeah.
to like the round handles.
Mm.
And then a nice thing that they've changed in the Fierce 4 as well, they changed previously the bearings were shielded bearings.
Mm.
They've now changed them to steel bearings. So you've got
Really?
stainless steel seal bearings. Yeah. Now what
Okay,
that
that's a
means,
pretty cool upgrade.
yeah, so what
Yeah.
that means, when you've got your bearing, a shielded bearing has just got a gasket on
Yes.
the outside,
Yeah.
which makes it resistant to debris and any salt water
Sure.
particles coming in.
Yeah.
Now, a sealed bearing is just that. It's sealed.
Se-
It's got
yeah.
this metal casing that closes the bearing completely. So you're not getting any dust, any salt, any
Yeah.
sand. Nothing's getting
So
into that
corrosion
bearing.
is going to be
Corrosion's
minimal.
going to
Yeah.
be minimal. And
Yeah.
that's very important when it comes to saltwater reels.
100%.
Especially in this category, these reels, they're not sealed,
Mm.
like your slammers and your authorities. So they are taking on salt water. So the
course.
components inside are going to
Yeah.
take a bit of a hammering if the reel's not maintained.
Yeah.
As we know, salt water, you have to clean your reels out.
Yeah.
But because of those sealed bearings, you're going to get better lifespan. Your reel's
Yeah.
going to stay smoother for longer. So that's something very
So they
cool
really
about
thought
the
of
Fierce.
a cool upgrade with the Fierce
Yes.
4. I
Yeah.
mean, to get those bearings in there and all the other aspects you're talking about now. So you said this is coming at a 2,000 rand price,
Actually,
isn't it?
starting on the
Yeah.
smaller size, up to I'd say 2,800
Okay.
rand retail price point. So a nice, affordable reel into your saltwater category.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, very robust,
Mm.
and that's what you need when it comes to saltwater.
Yeah, absolutely.
The conditions are so harsh. You need
Yes.
a reel that's built and designed to take the punishment.
Yeah, sure.
And this is definitely
And
a choice of that.
Fantastic. So we've got a range that covers every facet from the 3,000 upwards. So that's awesome. Availability. Are they ready as
They
yet?
are available. They're already in stores. A
Okay.
lot more of the retailers that have come through to the show and have seen them, they're placing their orders. But I'd say they must probably been on the market for a month now. So they're
Okay.
already into the store. So definitely get yourself a nice,
Yeah.
cost-effective saltwater
Wow,
reel
it's a
that
great
can stand up to the
upgrade.
punches.
Go.
Pen Fierce is the way to go.
Absolutely. And it's one of those reels that are not breaking the bank.
Exactly.
You know, you got a good quality, durable reel with everything that you need at an affordable price. You know,
So very, very cool for the guys that whether they live in Joburg, such as myself,
Yeah.
we don't live at the coast, we don't get to do a lot of saltwater fishing.
Mm.
We want to buy a reel that we're going to use once or twice a year when we go on holiday down to the coast.
Yeah.
You don't want to spend a fortune on it, but you need something that's going to last you.
Absolutely.
Fierce fits into the category. Or for the guys that are living along the coastline,
Yeah.
especially for the youngsters coming up into the saltwater fishing. They want to get into it, or they've got your more entry-level tackle, but they're looking to get a little bit more serious and step up their game. The Pen Fierce is perfect for that.
That's exactly what I love
Stepping
about it. I mean,
stone
5 ball
into the
bearings,
game.
that's exactly what you need. And we moved. You know, the beauty of what I like about Pen is like, you know, the thing is we can start off with our pursuits or the rats or whatever it is, which is great reels. Since the rat has come out, I mean, I loved it because for $1,000 you get in a really good quality reel.
Exactly.
But then, you know, so that is something you could introduce someone into. And then obviously as they progress in their fishing,
And then you build
you
them.
just build them up, and before you know it, then you say, right, good dude, there's a slammer for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, okay, right. But they grew in the family, so they understand the reels, they know what it's capable of. And perfect.
That's it. And that's it from our lineup today of some of the key items. A lot more items to chat about. I think I'll keep you here for 3-4 hours. We can talk fishing the whole day.
Yeah.
Those
of course.
are just the key items I wanted to touch on.
So, guys, also from Pen, I mean, obviously we don't have it out here. Well, this wasn't Pen. Those rods were under Berkley.
Yes,
The emotions. Oh, that got my emotions running like wild yesterday. So we're gonna look at those. We're gonna move on to the booth later on. But for now, this is what we have from Pen, and it's absolutely fantastic. Great, Dexter. Good stuff. Great upgrades for this year. This is what we love about the shows. Thank you for sharing this with us.
And thank you very much for having me on the channel.
Absolutely.
It's very awesome to speak to everyone out there. And have a fantastic Sunday further.
All right, guys. That's Dexter.
Yes.
Iron River. Perfect. Come on, man.